Hey everyone, it's Comics Villain, and welcome to another episode of Disney Days. Had a chance to head back to Disney just, I believe it was, I want to say it was Tuesday. Yeah, just a couple days ago. Took my daughter, had a sort of a daddy-daughter day that time. So wanted to check out any updates they had for Disneyland, and as well as California Adventure. So let's jump in and see what kind of things are going on. Here you can see, they still have things how they did when last I saw the park, as far as the structure. You can take a look. It looks fairly different from the other structure. There's quite a bit different about it with like shade and so on. And just underneath the awning, it's, I believe, where they're going to have you check in all your items and such before boarding the tram to take you over to the park. Now, that's not complete just yet. There's still little things that they're working on, such as lighting, and you can actually see the lighting right in the center. And there's lighting throughout on the inside of the parking structure itself, and that continues all the way down to the far left side. And I'll show you guys a little more. And as you guys can see, that lamp right there on the left center of the picture, that's the same lamp they're using throughout. So it's the same sort of theming. We'll continue with this. And forgive me, it's a little shaky cam footage here. Sorry, guys. Hopefully they start updating some of the imagery here for the
Can't
old
believe how many people are here today.
what's it called? The old parking structure would be really helpful. Because everything should start to take more of a modern look, or an updated look. I shouldn't say modern, but more of an updated look. So I really do like the way they made the new park, the way they made all this look. It looks very fascinating. I'm sorry, the new parking structure here in the area. And by the time this is all done, it's going to be completely different. The area that the tram's going to be at, and where everyone's getting off at, where you're entering the park and exiting, it's going to be a little different. Now, as we get closer here, you're going to notice that there's lights actually around that sort of circular level, whatever you want to call that. There's actually lights in the very center. I'm still not totally understanding what that is, unless it's just simply there for the escalator. But here you will notice that sphere that we were looking at before that was covered up, it is now uncovered. It is actually a huge Pixar ball, which is to signify that this is the Pixar parking structure, Pixar and Pal's parking structure. And that's actually a really nice touch. They should do something similar to the other side for the Mickey and Friends parking structure. I also like the shade, how they're actually handling that with those awnings that come straight out. There's multiple of them. It just looks maybe a little more pleasing to the eyes, and differentiates it a little bit. Maybe they'll update the other parking structure to have something similar now. As you can see here, as I'm pausing it, in the center of that platform, whatever we're gonna call it, it's a huge ring of light, so it's there to illuminate the bottom level below it, and there's lights throughout. And it gives it a very interesting look. I like that. It's very unique. So they did a good job, in planning all of this out. And as we go along, we're getting closer and closer to where the bridge is here. So it's still as it was the last time. We'll be able to maybe see a few better views of it. So there's the rest of the bridge. Still not completed yet. There's going to be a lot more they have to do, but they're working on it. And it's going to get done eventually. And then we'll have that access at some point. There's still a lot of groundwork that they have to do, a lot of cement and cement pouring and so on. So here we can see it from the other side. And back to the other portion that it leads to. Putting in trees, filling in any holes. One of the interesting things about this is going to be coming up in a second. So right there, it almost looks like that might be either an exit or that might be an exit for the tram. I'm curious about that. I just don't know. Now here is really interesting, right in this very center. You'll see, you'll kind of see. Actually, hold on. Let me get my pointer out. This will be nice. Nice way to do this. So as you can see, right about here is the it's like an entrance and exit, brand new. No one knows if this is going to be for the tram. No one knows if this is going to be for the incoming cars. You know, for people trying to get into the park, which wouldn't make a whole lot of sense because if you are aware of where you normally go into the park, there's a huge area for that if you're going into the parking structure, and it has enough space for a lot of the incoming cars. This really doesn't. It would actually block a lot of the street unless that's really what they want to do, which I highly doubt, because then you wouldn't be able to get into like downtown Disney very easily. Or maybe you would if they're going to be turning left only, but I don't think that's what they have planned. So we're just kind of looking at where everything's going there. You know, it the park was pretty busy this day. Also, one of the really cool things as I was going through downtown Disney was some of the art that they have. So they changed this area up quite often, like the little planters, and they had this effect, which was a visual effect that if you stand in the right area, you'll be able to see all the pieces here that are really separated come together for a nice little image, and that was kind of cool. So here we enter the park. It's me and my kiddo, just seeing this and that. My goal whenever I enter the park every day, which I have yet to accomplish this, is to try to look for somebody famous star. I feel like almost every day I go, there's nobody there, or they're on the opposite side, like in California, or if I'm in Cali, they're in Disney. So I never get to see that. And there's always somebody. There's always somebody saying, "Oh yeah, this famous person came here today. You know, Robert Downey Jr. was here today, or Kobe Bryant was here today, or something like that. Whoever the star is." It was a little busy today. Lines were kind of packed. Rides were kind of packed, so didn't get to do everything we wanted, but we did quite a bit. Some of the players sitting here. So this was the one of the boats that they have here. I can't think of the name of it. Man, it just left me. But it's like a steamboat style, whatever you want to call it, riverboat. And the one thing that's nice about this is it allows you to check on the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge a little bit. Not a whole lot, but you get to see, like the mountainside. And as you get closer and closer to it, you start to notice some things that are cool and work well with this background, because you get to see the mountain area. It almost looks like a mountainous area behind all the trees. That works perfectly with this, until you get to about, let's see, until you get to about, I want to say it was right there. So right here, you kind of see some of the Star Wars buildings, and it does look a little unnatural, but that's something that they can actually fix. And the way Disney fixes these kind of things is they actually put trees up in very specific spots that are the correct size and shape of buildings or objects that they want hidden. So when you're in one spot, as you look around, everything fits that theme. It's insane the level of detail that the park actually gets into, but that's just how it is, and they've been around, so many decades. That's just how they do things, But as you can see in a lot of the shots that I have right now, things actually work out, but not always, not always. But that's a little Disney trick that they like to pull off, and you don't always see that at every park around the world, or in the country. You don't see that with Six Flags and Knott's and stuff. Usually, there's that the themes don't really. They don't. It doesn't matter if you see another theme area. It really doesn't. But here it does. On the other hand, if you go to Disney Paris, forget about everything I just said, because they have really weird areas that don't match, that are like right next to each other. Thunder Mountain, I think, is next to Haunted Mansion or something like that. Maybe Splash Mountain's near there too. Like, you can see them right next to one another. So yeah, it doesn't really work out all the time. So let me see. What did we do that day? So while we were over at Disneyland, we were on the Disneyland side. We went on the carousel. For those that don't know, there is one horse in particular that's completely different than all the others. So one that's one of the characters at the park, Mary Poppins, will actually go onto, and it's a horse that has the design of, like, I think it looks like bells or something on the horse's body going down, and it has golden hooves and all that stuff. And she always gets on that horse. I think it's maybe modeled after. It's modeled after some horse that's significant in either Mary Poppins the movie or in Disneyland's history. Forgive me, I don't remember which, but the horse has significance, and there's a reason that Mary Poppins gets on that one. So we went on that ride. We did a few other things. Actually, we went to the Golden Horseshoe. Sorry, I'm not showing that. I'm just actually, the video that I got actually had my kid in it a lot. I'm trying not to show her in all this, but yeah, it was really nice. When we went to the Golden Horseshoe, we actually sat on the far right side, and there's two spots that are like basically enclosed and reserved for like one group. I shouldn't say reserved, but one group can go in and just relax. You're kind of like right next to the stage, and as soon as we had sat down, started eating, the performers came out on stage and started to do a little act, a little show, and they started inviting people onto the stage. It was really fun. So it was a lot of fun stuff that we did over on the other side. We went to Pirates of the Caribbean. That was great. We saw the Red character, who was new, like the actual person portraying Red, the new pirate. I didn't really go up to her, just saw her from a distance. I've always seen just pictures and video. Still sad that they changed that character. I don't think that was necessary, but Disney's always going to be changing things. Then we also let's see, went on the Haunted Mansion. We do that almost every time we go. My kids too, but she loves that. Loves it more for Nightmare Before Christmas. What else? I want to say that we did a few more things. We tried to do the Tiki Room, but that didn't work out. Actually, it's like I think the animatronics broke down. The crazy thing is, the entire time I've been going to Disney for the past 30 years, I've never once gone to the Tiki Room, which is really weird because I've gone a lot of times, more times than I can even count, and or even recollect to count. I have never been able to go on the ride. Something would always prevent me. And when I was trying to go this day, and sure enough, that happened. So, and then when we head over to the to see the parade, it was like 3 o'clock, and I think the parade was 3:30. So eventually, we just decided not to bother with it. Like another 30 minutes. Let's just head over to California Adventure. So here we are, walking down. Fun thing about Disney, It's entertaining. There's a lot of people will get, a lot of kids will get those bubble machines, and um, my daughter likes that. I think like most kids do. So some of the video might jump around a little bit. What we did was we went over to do a character meet and greet. First was Loki, and then the other was Thor, which is really funny. They always try to go and interact with each other, as well as Captain America and Spider Man, and yeah, didn't bother with Captain Marvel. I just don't see a reason to. The character's not really that great right now. Nothing against the person that's portraying Captain Marvel at the park. I really don't care for Captain Marvel that much. Nor do I care for Brie Larson all that much. Not hating on anybody. I don't. I haven't even seen the movie, and from what I hear, it's just not even gonna bother. So Guardians, that was they had like a show going on, sort of like a dance party kind of a thing, you know. I forget the exact story that they were going with, but there was something important to doing a dance with everybody that was supposed to save the day. I don't know. Like it's supposed to overload some system or something. In any case, we my daughter really liked that. She was dancing with it. And a lot of the kids liked it too. Yeah, so if you're in the area, you should definitely try this. It's at least fun. It's funny to see what Star Lord here does. More on the other hand, I didn't really feel like there was anything going on with her that was entertaining, other than, you know, she was like kind of meh with the idea, with almost any idea of what Star Lord's doing. And she always had like the look on her face like, I don't really care for this. I don't understand what you're doing, all that. Alright, so in any case, moving on. I like to come down here. Actually, my kid was fast asleep, and we had a chance to check out this little ride right here, which is being constructed at the moment and tested. The way they're testing it is, you know, they're putting in these plastic containers that are that are filled with water that'll represent like a person, and they're testing out to make sure that everything works properly with the ride, that the balance is correct, and that there's no weird issues. So right now, I had a chance to see it kind of moving around. I saw different parts and pieces that are added to it, and you know, I like that they put this thing like smack dab in the middle of the Incredicoaster, or at least on one side of the coaster itself, or there's actually room to do such. Because when you're walking along, really, you just see the park. You just see the coaster as you're going by, and it's nice to have things to see on the left and the right. You pass by the swing ride, which is called Silly Symphony Swings on the left. There's like a little area to buy some alcohol, beer, whatever. And then on the right, you'll see this. And then further down, you'll see another, like an inside out candy shop or sweet shop, which I guess is a good idea, you know. For this, they actually have some of the characters up, which was nice. You'll see... Boom. Right here is Anger. If you can see my cursor, Anger's right here. And then over on this side, you'll see Joy. I don't know if you guys are asking yourself, why does he know everyone's name? It's because my kid likes to watch these movies nonstop, so I get to watch these movies nonstop. Yeah. As we get closer, you might see some things moving. I think right here, you missed it, or I missed it, I should say. But anyway, this is what the park's going to look like, or I'm sorry, this is what the ride's going to look like when it's finished. There's quite a bit already done and inside. So this right here, the sign is up, the characters are up, Anger is up. I don't know about this one. I forget her name. Jealousy or greed? I don't know. Envy. I think it was Envy. What else? The ride itself is already up and running and moving. They're just testing it out, maybe doing a few other things. It looks kind of small to me, to be honest. Like when you actually get a chance to check it out, it looks a little small, but I'm sure it'll work out. It's basically, if you guys have been here before and seen Flix Flyers, I think that's the name of it. This is just that ride repurposed. They took all that out, repurposed it, added new things, new themes, this, that, the other thing, and then boom, here you have a new ride. So the way this one's going to work, you'll get in line. I want to say it's going to be, the line is somewhere over on the left side. You'll go through here, and then you're going to end up on this end right here. And there's going to be little numbers on the ground, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever, that correspond to whichever one of these carts or whatever you want to call it that you're going to go to. And it looks to be 4 people per. That's what it looks like to me, because I saw they had around four chairs, I think, and 4 of those little water containers that act as people while they were testing the ride out. So it looks like it's 4 per, and that's fine. So yeah, let's continue on. So they do have some things moving. They're testing all the little things out. How this thing's going to be in motion, how things are going to light up and move and look, it's yet to be seen. But I'm sure it'll be a good addition. They need more kid-friendly rides. Okay, so let's stop this right here. So if you guys are familiar with this area, this is a really cool area, or at least it's going to be. So, they're going to have quite a few things going on. They're going to be adding, this is the Marvel Land. We don't know if that's going to be the name. We're just going to use it as a placeholder for now. But it'll be for all the Marvel characters. And it's going to lead up to the Tower of Terror, or the Guardians of the Galaxy Breakout Mission. I think that's what it's called. And you're going to have 2 rides here being added in. And I think 1 shop or 1 restaurant. Now, the 3 that are confirmed, as well as a show, the 3 that are confirmed are the Spider-Man ride, where you're going to be on something similar to the California Adventure Soarin' Over California or Soarin' Over the World ride, where you sit down on this huge contraption and it will move you around. Now, the difference is you'll actually physically move from one space to another around this building, but the machine is going to be swinging you as if you're like Spider-Man. And from what I hear, and this is rumor so far, that you will have like something to be able to shoot with, like spider webs, like Spider-Man. And maybe it'll be something along the lines of Midway Mania. You'll be able to rack up points, or maybe you'll be able to make things occur if you shoot them, just like the Monsters Incorporated ride over in Japan, where you have a flashlight, and if you flash the correct things, if you hit the right things, then you'll actually have interaction with that ride. So that's one ride. And I want to say that there's a rumor right now about, if you can see where my cursor is, this thing right here is rumored to be a harness, or I shouldn't say a harness, but it holds onto a harness that may have a stunt person or a stunt robot have a Spider-Man outfit on and swing around. So they may have a show in the future that will incorporate that, which I think is perfect. Now, again, that is just rumor. A lot of this will be rumored. There's only so much I can actually confirm besides the rides, the restaurant that they're going to have, and the event or the show that they're going to have here. So the second ride, and so far I've been told it might be right over here, this building on the right-hand side. We believe that building is going to be a Quinjet ride, So it might be like an Avengers style ride. Maybe there'll be multiple Avengers, or it'll be like an Agents of Shield ride. We don't know yet. Nothing confirmed. But they're gonna put the Quinjet on the very top, or at least that's the rumor. I shouldn't say rumor actually. I think they have shown pictures of the design that they actually are gonna go with. So it's supposed to be like a Quinjet up top here. So the other thing is they're going to have a microbrewery. Sorry, I can't say that word for the life of me. It sounds awful, but they're going to have a microbrew shop, whatever, where you can actually get some beer. Microbrew, yeah. So they're going to have that. It's going to be an Ant-Man style or Ant-Man themed microbrew restaurant. I shouldn't say restaurant. Pretty much, I think you just go up to it, order, and then you take off. So really, there's one more thing that they've mentioned, and that is a Doctor Strange show. So we believe that it's going to be, outside, out in the open, and they'll have Doctor Strange there performing maybe magic or doing this, that, and the other thing. And, it'll be entertaining. I think a lot of what Disney does for shows are actually really entertaining. Whether it's the kind that are usually announced, like they have specific time frame, or if they just have certain characters doing things throughout the park. Like if you're over at Tomorrowland, sometimes you'll see like 8 or 10 stormtroopers just randomly walking about in single file or double file down the Tomorrowland street. Stuff like that's really fun. People like it. So, besides that, there's still this question of what's going to be on the opposite side of this area. So you say you're walking out of the park, and you'll see it like I'm seeing it right now. I'm walking from Pixar Pier down to Buena Vista Street, which is the main street that you'd use to go to the exit. And in between all of that is this area, which is Marveland. But opposite of that, the other side of it, we don't know if they're going to have anything going on there, any buildings, if they're going to use the backside of where kind of Cars Land is. I mean, Bugs Land was not a small area. That's the thing. This is going to be a very wide open area. It may not seem like that right now, but when it's eventually unveiled, you're going to actually have quite a bit more land than we had with Bugs Land. And the reason I say that is because a lot of Bugs Land, a lot of it was taken up by little things. Some of which maybe unnecessary, but it was maybe good for kids at the time. But there's only so much you can do with those parts and pieces. But they have a huge area that's actually pretty open right now. They're still working on the groundwork, putting in a lot of things in the ground for support, maybe even tunnels, and there's a lot that'll be taking place in the future. So I'd imagine that we'd probably see this nearly completed within a year. And if you can take a look at the buildings themselves, they're already putting up some things here that will actually cover it up and prevent us from seeing into it very soon. So for the time being, we're able to check out what they're doing on the inside. There's the Guardians ride. It's all the way at the very end of this area here. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to open up. I believe if you're already over there, they're probably going to take down. They're probably going to end up taking down the wall that's preventing people from having access to that land. I would hope they don't keep it closed. I don't imagine why they would. There's no reason to. You want to have that together. You want to have those rides together, those Marvel rides, Guardians of the Galaxy and the rest. But I'm excited to see what else they're going to do. And from what I heard, it's going to be done in phases. So we're going to have the Spider-Man and Quinjet ride, I guess, or Avengers ride, whatever they want to call it, as well as the Ant-Man microbrew shop and the Doctor Strange show. Those are supposed to be phase 1, and we may actually have a phase 2, maybe with new rides or just new shops. either way, I'm excited to see where that goes. So not much time left in the video. This is just actually me walking back to the structure. And you're able to see quite a bit, actually. Here, you can see the Pixar ball actually from all the way over here. The thing looks beautiful. They did a good job with it. They're doing quite a bit here. And that's it. That's basically all we had going on. So very excited for all of this, for all these different additions, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun in the next few years. I'm definitely going to keep trying to go back to the park and show you guys updates. I hope you guys really enjoyed these videos. It's fun for me, fun for my kid, fun for my wife when we head out there, and it's nice to be able to record a lot of this stuff and tell you about what I know and fill you in on what I know in regards to the park's expansions and changes, and maybe even fill you guys in on some of the fun things that you can actually do that most people might not know about. Because we actually have a chance to experience a lot of different things. So, yeah, hopefully I get to tell you a little more in the future. If you guys liked the video, I'd appreciate a like, share, comment on what you thought about the park itself and its new expansions, its new additions, and what you were most excited for. I'd say I'm most excited for the Marvel Land, because I think the Spider-Man ride is supposed to be, probably some of the best addition. They're the best addition they're probably going to have for quite some time, until they maybe get around to the rumor that is Tomorrowland's deconstruction and being rebuilt with a new Tron ride. Which, if you guys have seen the Tron ride over in Shanghai, Disney, and the Walt Disney World edition they're going to be having in the next year or two, it's going to be amazing. So, in any case, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Help me hit that 1,000 subscriber milestone. I'd like to do more videos like this and also do some giveaways in the future, such as going to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, maybe getting a droid built for you guys, whether it's the R2 series, the BB-8 series, maybe even at some point if people are subscribing and I get this monetized, and maybe people are subscribing to my Subscribe Star or Patreon. I'd be able to, maybe go there, build lightsabers for you guys and whatever you request, and probably give that away to one lucky subscriber. So please subscribe, please spread the word, and I'd love to do more videos like this, and I can't wait to show you guys more about the park. So I'll see you on the next video. Take care and have a great rest of your day.